Hello and welcome to the East Bay Historia info session where we're talking about joining the editorial board. Jenny, why should someone join the editorial board?
Um, it's really a great experience. It's so much fun and really rewarding because the work you're doing has a finished product. So, with so many classes, when you take them, when you're done, you're just done. And until you get that degree, you don't have a finished product in your hand. But when you take History 402 and you're on the editorial board at the end of the semester, you have something to show off to your friends and family. Not only that, you have something that you can put on your resume that's real world experience because it isn't just writing an essay or doing things in theory. You're actually making a physical product. So you can go to like Penguin Publishing House and say, I was an editor in chief on my school's historical journal. I think I would make a great copy editor. This is my experience. This is an example of what I've done. So it really does build your resume in a way that so many history classes don't. And it is fun. You work directly with your peers. So you're getting to know them more than you would in a class that's just lecturing as well. So you're building friendships too. And it's just an all around great experience.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny. And a lot of students ask, what will I do when I am on the editorial board? And so there's a lot of different jobs that we have for you available on the editorial board. First off, every student who joins the editorial board will read all of the essays that were submitted. They'll critique them. They'll, be rigorous historical debates about whether or not to accept or reject submission. So everyone will do some of that, but then each of you will get your own title, your own job, some kind of an ownership over the publication. This is an intense teamwork exercise that you aren't going to get in a lot of other classes. The collaboration is fantastic. So some of the jobs that you might do, you might be the editor-in-chief, where you get to sign off on all of the final essays. You get to be the decision maker in case there's a tie between, should we accept something or reject it. You get to really coordinate all of the pieces that go into publication. The associate editor is just kind of the right-hand person that helps the editor-in-chief out with all of those major decisions. Maybe the head copy editor, if you're really interested in grammar, this could be a good place for you to enjoy, editing someone else's paper for a little bit. We also have a position for a design officer to design the whole journal. If you're artistically inclined, you can help with the formatting, making sure things look beautiful. And Carla's done that before, and she did it really well. And so you can bring in the artwork and help with the formatting and design the cover. We also have a legal advisor, usually, that helps with things like, can we publish this image? Because it's only a few years old and someone owns it. In that case, it's probably not able to be published, but if it's over 50 years old, they can do the legal research to find out if it's a copyright infringement for us to be publishing. Those are the main legal questions that students have, and it's kind of fun for that person to go and do research about that. And then we also have a financial officer who figures out the entire budget. We have a hefty budget to publish this journal, and the financial officer has to present it to our board, who gives us the funding to do this and has to justify why we are expecting such a high budget, and what it will do to help our department. So there's a lot of things that you can do on the editorial board, and in each job that you have, you gain ownership over the whole publication process. And really the entire process prepares you for creative challenges that await you in your professional life. Oh, and then there's a marketing team as well. Forgot to mention that one. Marketing the entire journal and making sure people know about it and get get a copy. So let's move on to Carla and talk about the publication timeline for, for the editorial board and what you would be doing during the course of the semester.
So essays are due by February 1st, and that's like the cutoff the essays need to be in, because they're going to be peer reviewed, where the essays are distributed to different groups, and it's all anonymous, so they don't know the authors of who the authors of the essays are, and the author doesn't know who reviewed their essay either. So that's when the peer reviewing is, and by late February, authors are given the notes that the peer reviewers did, and you'll be told if your essay was accepted or if you should resubmit next year. And then authors have about 2 weeks to do their revisions. And then once those 2 weeks are up, the copy editing begins. And that's also distributed into groups. You'll get your little, maybe an essay or two for you to copy edit, and kind of fix it if it has some formatting issues. So you're just kind of making sure that the essays look the best that they can. And then it's marketing time, because you have to submit all the essays to the publisher, get them into the book format. So you want people to know that the journal is happening and that they should be excited, because by May, the journal will be published and we want to get people to come and get their copy.
Yeah, we've done some fun things in the past with marketing where we've had students who are interested in videos and they've made videos promoting the journal, or students really interested in social media doing interviews with authors or editorial board members. Or we even did podcasting one time to market. So it really depends on who's in the class and what kind of marketing skills they want to develop or that they have. So we can do a little bit of everything. This is stuff that you would be doing if you joined a publishing house later on in your career. So thanks, Carla. And then the last one, Jenny, how do you join?
So to join the editorial board, you actually get class credit for it. It's part of History 402, which is Introduction to Public History. And I might be biased because I'm a public historian, so it's a great class. Public history is the best, but it's only offered in the spring semester because it follows the timeline of the journals. So just sign up for History 402. You learn what public history is. You learn what it's like to be a public historian. You get to be on the editorial board, and you get to have a tangible finished product at the end.
Thank you. Yeah, and Dr. Ivy will be teaching that in spring 2022. So do we have any questions about joining the editorial board?
So I have 2 questions, which is for the editorial board, how does deciding like the positions and how they're chosen goes? And then the second one is actually just about 402 in general. Is it just mainly all about the journal and stuff, or is there like other related things to public history as well?
I'll let Jenny and Carla take the first one, and I can take the second one.
So for the roles, you kind of sign up for them. You're never forced to take a role that you don't want to. If multiple people sign up for the same one, that is only like one person, for the editor-in-chief, for example, you take a survey and kind of vote for who you want it to be. But yeah, you sign up for whatever role you want.
Yeah, and if you come up with new ideas for jobs, you can also propose those. And then your question about 402, is it just the editorial board? No, I would say that the editorial board takes up about maybe half of your time in 402, and it's kind of spread out through the semester. But like Jenny was saying, the other half of your time, you're learning about what it means to be a public historian. You might, depending on who's teaching the class, you might do oral history or podcasting or make a museum exhibit in addition. So you get to have the very practical experience of learning about publishing, but you also get kind of the overview of what it means to be a public historian. And Dr. Ivy, do you have any thing you want to add to the 402 discussion? Because you've taught it many times.
I've taught it a bunch of times, but before there was an East Bay Historia. So this is my first time with public history and a journal. So actually Jenny will be the professor of the journal part, but she will be helping out an extraordinary amount. But as far as the rest of the class, yeah, we're just gonna be talking about all the different ways, really just about bringing history outside of a classroom, how it functions beyond just sitting in class and talking and writing papers and that kind of thing. So all manner of stuff, which I have not entirely designed yet, but ask me in January.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. And if you have any questions, just feel free to email any of us or contact us through the East Bay Historia website. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.